Why is speed training more important now than ever before?
The easy statement is speed is everything. When it comes to football, everyone's airing it out, right? It's all about who's got the fastest guys, the most lethal weapons on the outsides. There's no more of those put your hand in the dirt, bars down the middle, fullback, right? There's not as much smash mouth in football. In basketball, we don't have the Shaquille O'Neals in the post nearly as much. We got 7-footers on the outside shooting 3-pointers and driving to the hole. So I feel like speed has really taken over all sports worldwide, where everyone is putting more and more emphasis on your ability to be explosive and accelerate. So I think speed is more important now than it was 5-10 years ago in sports, even at the professional and the youth levels. But then secondly, like Spence was saying, is more and more athletes at 8 years old are one sport athletes.
Yeah.
They're sport specific at 10, which I think is mind blowing.
Yeah.
I think that athletes need to be playing multiple sports, but if you're not going to play multiple sports, you have to do human performance, athletic performance training to balance out yourself so that you're not just overdeveloping and overtraining one muscle group and underdeveloping and undertraining another muscle group, right? So a lot of it is how can we keep our athletes healthy? A soccer player or a volleyball player is like, Coach, why do I need a back pedal? Well, there's so many benefits for your knee health and your overall health and strength as an athlete in being coordinated to backpedal. So training out of your comfort zone and not just doing the same movements all the time is going to help us become better, healthier, longer lasting athletes.
Definitely.
All right, guys, we're on that last question of the day right here. Okay, last one. The question is, why is speed and agility training / athletic performance training more important now for athletes than ever before?
Well, it's more important because a lot more people are doing it. I mean, we see every year, PRs get lower in track, athletes get better in every sport. So it's kind of it's more expected to work on things outside of just your sport, which I think is super important. I know, growing up, it was very much of work on your craft, like sports specific, like that's all of what training was. And now pulling back from it and being more of an actual speed and agility coach, seeing the benefits that athletes get out of being a little less specific with their sport, but overall highlighting the importance of overall speed, I think makes a tremendous improvement in their on-field play.
And also there are way more humans now. There are so many people. Where we're at used to all be fields, 20 years ago, you know what I mean? And now this place is insanely populated. Roseville has a population of 140, 160,000 people. And sports is really, especially with social media and everything, everybody's seeing that you need extra training. You can't just show up to a sport and be one of the best players. You do need extra training, and that's all over the place, and it's in kids' faces. So with the high population, tons of kids, the high schools have thousands of kids in them around here, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of competition, and that's why you do need something to stand out.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we get stuck on one sport, and now sports are year-round. Almost every sport is year-round, but what happens with that is kids get burnt out, and I think if you continue to do speed and agility and work kind of how we work and do plyos, it'll make you just an overall athlete. And if you decide you got burnt out on one sport, you can move to the other with a little bit easier transition. You just have to learn the sport itself. You don't have to worry about your mechanics or anything like that. You can jump into a new sport. All you got to do is learn it. But if you have the athletic training that we do, that speed and agility, it applies to all sports. It applies to baseball, basketball, football, soccer, rugby, all the different kinds of sports. It translates. So just being able to be flexible in what you do, or if you're a multi-sport athlete, that way you can perform at a high level at any sport that you play.
Yeah.